Okay, we've got several good ideas there. One is we avoid crowds. One is, I heard we stay warm. One is we wear a mask.
Avoid cloud.
Okay, avoid crowds.
Stay home.
So stay warm and wear a mask. Now, I read an article this morning before I came to class that said the mask doesn't help. It doesn't matter. And maybe that's true because viruses are very small and they can get through the mask. I don't know. I didn't read the whole article. Okay, so avoiding crowds, that's the issue in China. There are 1 billion people in China. That's a crowd. So anywhere you go, especially in Wuhan, there's the risk of the disease. Okay, what's the other part of that name, corona? Do you know this word? Look at this, I have blue hands. Does anyone know what a corona is? Do you know this word? Coronation. Okay, coronation is when the new king or the new queen receives a crown. And corona is actually the Latin word for crown. Coronation means putting on a crown. The coronation of the new king. There's a very famous opera called The Coronation of Poppaea. And the story ends with this woman, Poppaea, becoming empress, and she is crowned. She wears the crown. So, coronation, corona, crown. Why is it called coronavirus? Anyone know? Because the virus looks like it's wearing a crown. That's the reason for the name. It's kind of a funny name, crown virus, but the virus looks like a crown. It looks like it's wearing a crown. Okay, Corona is also a brand of beer. Yeah, Ken is nodding. Ken knows this, right? He knows the important words. It's a brand of beer from Mexico. And one of the silly articles that I read, the silly article said that Americans think the coronavirus comes from drinking Corona beer. That's just silly. It was what we call satire. When we write something funny, something silly. It doesn't really come from Corona beer. It comes from it's a virus. And the other word that you might want to know here is the word flu. What is the flu? Okay. Flu is a sickness, and it's actually short for influenza. So we usually use the word flu, especially in the United States. But the full name for the sickness, the full name for the disease, is influenza. And it can be a very serious disease. Around the time of the First World War, there was an epidemic of what we call Spanish flu, and millions of people died all around the world. Okay, so those are some of the basic vocabulary words that we will encounter as we talk about the coronavirus. Corona, remember, means crown because the virus looks like a crown. It is a type of flu but it is much more serious than other flus. Okay, Kun Nat, will you just read the title of the article?
China goes into emergency mode as a number of confirmed coronavirus cases reaches 2,700.
Okay, what does that title mean? What does the title tell us?
That's
About
really
the number of
Okay, there are three phrases or words that I'd like to highlight in that title.
China going to critical.
One is emergency mode, and we'll talk about what that means. One is, I had three now, I forgot two. I guess there are two. Confirmed cases. Okay, what does it mean that they've gone into emergency mode?
That's very urgent.
It's very urgent, excellent. Mode is like condition or
Situation.
status.
Situation.
Yeah, situation, that's a good word for it. When I went into the other classroom, before you all arrived this morning, I tried to turn on the air conditioning. And the remote for the air conditioning has a mode. The mode can be heat, the mode can be cool, the mode can be fan. So the word that one of you used, or a couple of you used, situation or setting. And as Kun Kosin said, emergency means that it is very urgent. We sometimes talk about emergency care. Emergency care, when it is urgent, the person is very sick. We talk about an emergency room in a hospital. An emergency room is where you take a person who might be bleeding or they just had a heart attack. And so it is urgent. That's a good word for it. What does it mean, confirmed cases?
Large force.
in sit.
Okay, I think you're all on the right track. It's the case is the number of patients. Confirmed means we know that they really have this disease. Now, when I say that there are 2,000 confirmed cases, how many cases are there?
Maybe more.
Exactly. Kun Kosin said it perfectly. There are maybe more. 2,700 confirmed cases means we know that those people really have coronavirus.
Teacher can use at least.
At least, yeah. Okay, so there are 2,700 that are confirmed, that are certain, that are sure. But maybe there are more. As Kun Nat said, at least 2,007. As Kun Kosin said, maybe more. So, the country is in emergency mode. And we'll read in the article about what that means that they're doing. Kun Mali, would you please start reading?
Yeah, so, we got this letter too small. We are all old men. Very difficult to read. เอานะคุณก็เงียบบ้างนะผมเห็นคุณนี่รำคาญทุกคนเลยนะพยายามทนหน่อยสิครับพี่นะ ผมก็โทรจากคุณเยอะนะ
ไม่ใช่ค่ะพอดีว่า
Okay, Kun Molly, will you read for us, please? You start.
อ่านดิ
อ่านสิครับอ่านสิครับอ่านสิครับ
Hong Kong CNN the death toll for the Wuhan coronavirus now stand at 18 with almost 2,800 cases confirmed across China as the country initiates emergency procedures to try and rein in the pathogen global spread, marking that task. More difficult is the fact that the virus can be spread before and symptoms appear. Chinese health authorities said Sunday, meaning carrier may not be right. They are in fact before they transmit the virus to others.
Okay, let's stop there and let's talk about that. What does the article tell us about how the disease spreads?